yeah. Welcome to Sonetta Studios. It don't get no better than consciousness info. Sonetta TV 7. You keep it hot 24/7. You got that Black Wolf 102. Sonetta TV 2. Yeah.
You are now inside Sonetta Studios, the house of constant production, black news presentation.
Yeah, that's some shit, brother. I'm a newbie, Moses Okran York. Or Prince York, that's for sure. Prince York. Definitely.
So, you one of Dr. York's seeds.
Yeah. Basically.
Are you like the youngest one or something?
No. I'm somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think Dr. York will ever be coming home on what? What do you think about that? What's the situation on that?
Yeah, I feel like he'll be home pretty soon, actually, dealing with the basic stuff that's going on with his case, etc. How it's looking right now for him is looking really good. Looks like he'll be home sometime this year, 2016. Before Christmas, real talk.
Word?
Yeah, word is bond. Well, I know for a fact that's incorrect because I lived, this is my father. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the house with him every day. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's not even a conversation that is which we black people need to talk about. Because at the end of the day, you got anything a white man say from my point of view is a lie. I'm not gonna even entertain it. If they say right now that you did something,
the whole movement is like Dr. York. Everything, like I'm telling you, he got it.
he got the York in him.
Yeah.
But for real though. But everything that has to do with us as a people, they're gonna attack it. Every single leader, no matter whether you're a Moor, you a Hebrew Israelite, whomever, they're gonna lock us all up. They're gonna shut us up because we got the juice, we got the truth, and they switch roles. We originally the gods, and they made themselves the gods and made us worship them. So they're gonna attack our leaders. Yeah.
Let me ask you, why do you think he went up in the courtroom and pleaded guilty when they asked him how did you plead, and he said guilty? Why would he do that?
Well, I got the facts on that. So it's not even what I think, is what I know. And the facts on that situation is what happens is my father's wife was also in prison with him. She was also accused with him. And my father pleaded guilty so they could free all the people they had locked up who were the people who would speak on his behalf to free him. So it was a plea bargain in which was taken that was said, okay, if you plead guilty on this, then they would let you go for this, because really there was no witnesses, and that's what people don't know. So the plea bargain had nothing to do with child molestation, it had to do with taxes. And my father is a diplomat of Liberia. So it had to do with taxes, which he knew he would beat, so he pleaded guilty on taxes, not on child molesting. And then if you do the research, you'll find out that the courtroom dealing with his guilty plea was a closed courtroom, so it shouldn't have been recorded. So the person who recorded it actually switched the audios out. Real shit, no bullshit. Switched the audios out and changed them asking him that question. And notice, if you watch the video, you'll see he never opened his mouth. All he did was shake his head. And they switched the audios to defame him and to take his credibility away from him. It was you can do the research. The research will show you, because the newspapers will say Dr. York pleads not guilty. Again, Nuwaubians say that the war is not over. You know what I'm saying? The newspapers from all Putnam County is all there. You know what I'm saying? But to me, at this point, that's neither here and there, because if you're a black person and Dr. York's a black man, then we should support all our leaders. Because I look at all our leaders as our messiahs. These are our messiahs, our messengers, because messiah means messenger. Our messengers that are sent here to help us free our people. And we can't, if we sit here and we beat up everyone because 1 or 2 differences, 3 or 4 differences, then we have no leadership. You know what I'm saying? We have to get to one point or another where we drop the egos, we drop the bullshit, and we say, okay, this is the person who has the information. Whether it's Yahweh Ben Yahweh, Dr. York, Noble Drew Ali, Marcus Garvey, whatever. And what I noticed from my father is the only teacher who showed respect and homage to all of those teachers.
That's true. Let me ask you, the situation that took place, because a lot of the information is out there, and you can go on YouTube and you'll see it. They said one of his sons is the ones that turned him in, and also said he did it. His videotapes out there. How much truth is that with one of your brothers?
That's factual to an extent.
And why would he do that? Was it jealousy? Is it enviness? Why would he do that to his own father?
Well, what it was that Okay. Well, what happened with my older brother is my older brother was paid over $50 million by the United States government to do that. That was the first peak. Then on top of that, then my brother was very upset with my father because my brother was going into the music industry in the early 2000s. He was producing Little Kim and different people like that. And my father basically said, I'm not supporting any sex symbols. My father was a music producer as well, and he was supporting artists like Lauryn Hill, you know what I'm saying, Erykah Badu. Those are people, if you could see the difference in the type of music, that's what he supported, that's what he put his money into, and that's what he was about. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want his name or money have anything to do with what hip hop has become now, because he foreseen that. He said, I can see where this is going. The artists are changing, their style is changing, they're not as conscious as they used to be. You can look at Queen Latifah today, and we know Queen Latifah back in the day, it was changing. And he was like, I can see that, and I'm not putting money into that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not supporting it. So
how do you feel when you see people going in on your father? How do that make you feel when they be, because our people could be real cruel, brother. How does that make you feel? You sitting there and you looking at these comments and you hearing these things. How does that make you feel?
Well, I look at it as it's a disease. It's a literal mental disease that our people have that programs their mind to think that, okay, this is a black leader, this is my brother, he's in New York, he's moving, he's here and there, he's doing this, he's doing that, he did all these great things. One small thing that he's accused of, not proven of, with no witnesses, the evidence is there, the proof is there, the facts is there, and we're gonna run. Now all the conscious people who's so pro-black, we run on their side. So me as his son, it hurts me, but I'm a teacher as well. I'm a teacher as well. I teach at the Supreme Grand Parole in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing. I'm up in Jersey City. We open bookstores. We're still, the No Opera Nation is moving in full. Like nothing even stopped. My father's still writing books. You know what I'm saying? When he went to jail, he's at 400 books. Now he's at 1,257 books. He cannot be stopped. All the information that's going to the conscious community and the young teachers like Brother Polite, these different teachers that's coming up that we have respect for, this is their source of information. It has always been.
I'm glad you mentioned Brother Polite. That's my right hand. That's my man right there. What is your thoughts on Brother Polite, our Brother Polite, and the way he's moving and holding it up? He never denounced Dr. York. Even when people was trying to put pressure on him, he never once denounced his teacher. What do you think about that, brother?
I got a lot of respect for Brother Polite. His process in which doing stuff I don't necessarily agree with, because the Nuwaubian Nation, we move as power is in unity, and the separation, I don't know what, I wasn't there. I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened between New Covenant and Nuwaubian Nation, how they separated. So that had nothing to do with me. But when it comes to power is in unity, he was in a blue house. So if he's watching this video, he know he was in a blue house. So he already know power is in unity, and that's how we move. There is no separation. For Brother Polite personally, I have nothing but respect for him. I respect what he's doing, but to me, he's just another Nuwaubian teacher. It's so many of us. So he's just another young Nuwaubian teacher I have plenty of respect for, most definitely.
So my question is, brother, feel me? Because you honestly royalty, you get what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, put like this, I don't, and pardon me if you felt that was disrespectful too, because I said your name is some shit, because it was long, and feel me? But long story short, I feel you're honestly royalty. Like your pops, listen, I don't know your pops. I don't even agree with some of the shit, some of the doctrines that Nuwaubians speak in regards to certain things. But your pops literally created a nationality. He wrote 400 plus, but you know the credentials. It's your father. Long story short, where's the security?
I don't need security. I refuse, and I'm a lot like my father with that. I refuse to protect myself from my people. So I'm not gonna come out here in a bulletproof vest. If y'all wanna kill me, y'all wanna kill Dr. York, shoot me. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to me, I'd rather die at the hand of my own people that is lost than let the white man kill me. And that's how I feel. Protection will never be needed for me, period. I'm out here, I'm walking with my wife, I'm walking with my brother, period.
So, look, like I said, you royalty. Fuck what you say. Listen. Real rap, like, you don't even gotta worry about us. I wouldn't attack you, get what I'm saying? I just told you God bless you. But what about these crap? I know whose son you are, right? I'm Marcus. I'm a little old kid from Brownsville.
And they know too.
They know well. So what I'm saying is, where's the protection? Like,
what you're dealing with is when you're dealing with the Caucasian.
Well, I understand what he's saying. Sometimes he walking in the spirit, man.
Yeah, he doing him. But that's sometimes. I'm saying, put like this, right? Forget what everybody else say. This is black royalty. China might protect certain U.S. presidents because we got monetary interests. You get what I'm saying? This brother right here is the biological, he's the living legacy, literally, of Dr. Malachi York. Why is there no security? Put it like this. If I knew this brother was Dr. Malachi York's son, I'd have said, oh shit, that's Dr. Malachi York's son? Nah, like some work got to get put in. Like,
another thing that has to be known is when we lived on our land in Tamaray, in the Nuwapian Nation, which is very well known, I'm sure you know, Wesley Snipes was one of the main people that came through. Every single... he know. You know what I'm saying? It's love. You know what I'm saying? I got 5 degrees in martial arts. I'm not worried about nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, like I said, I'm never gonna. And my father was the exact same way. My father would literally walk outside by himself, take a walk around our pyramid that we built, and go back in the house like it's nothing. Because same thing in New York. Because it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna harm me, you're gonna harm me. It's gonna happen. So it don't matter if I got 1 million brothers with me or not, because now I just put 1 million more brothers that's listening to what I'm saying. I just put their life in jeopardy too. Take my life because my student will go ahead and he'll step up under me just as I step up with my father. Same principle. Listen, the fear of death is the fear of graduation. To kill me or to kill any brother is a privilege. It will be a privilege to go into the next realm with my ancestors and to be a guide to the young brothers out here like yourself.
So my brother, I agree with you to an extent, but I don't want them to reap the benefits of a premature privilege. And so, long story short, what's your name, King? My bad.
I'm a newbie.
Newbie.
I'm a newbie.
I'm a newbie.
I'm a newbie.
I'm a newbie.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I got a friend named Yedadiah, and I had a hard time pronouncing that. But long story short, my brother, like, I agree with what you're saying, and I definitely feel like, you know, we're gonna go into a transition one day ultimately, but it says a lot about our race when our prince, like yourself, or such as yourself, is walking around in these streets with a few people around them. Like, don't get me wrong, I respect the spirit, I respect the energy, you bold, like your father, you strong spirit, but I think, you know, I don't know, King. I think we should do something and, you know, get you some security. I feel like it's just needed. You literally are living, just on behalf of who you came from, you important to the name, to the legacy, to the movement. Your father is someone who did something, I feel, that no scholar has ever done. Yeah, definitely.
See, at the end of the day, my name is Kem Netta. Those who know me, those who don't, you won't. But I just want to say this, though. See, when we see guys like this brother here, we ain't got to let everybody know that we know who this man is. Let you make a move, and then I'll reveal myself to you. Lay your ass low. Won't even ask a goddamn question. And y'all know me. Y'all see listen, y'all already know who I am, bro. You know how I move, and my team, how we move. I see this brother, anybody that matters in my eye, to my people, trust me, I ain't got the shot in mine. They know me. All I do is nod to a cat. I just give him, you good? Because I'm not gonna let them know that we on deck. Make a move on him. Watch the slaying begin, bro. I will take your fucking head. I ain't got to let you ain't got to know who's around him. I know who he is. When I see him in that crowd, he's already covered down for. He's already covered down for, and I'm never without mine. Trust me. I'm always loaded. I see him, family members, I got y'all in lock now. Fucking walk these streets, you good money. My team, you good money. Trust me.
The words of Kem Netta.
Trust me. This face here, I recognize it coming down the goddamn block. Trust me. Trust me. Peace almighty.
Peace, King. How you? All right, Brother Red Pill. Yes, sir. I want to know, are there any plans on rebuilding, not on Tamaray land, but maybe somewhere else? Because one of the shining examples that Dr. York was able to show the people was actually the build. You know what I mean? Yeah. Food, clothing, and shelter, and things of that nature. So is there any plans amongst the brothers and sisters of the nation to begin that process of rebuilding and creating a community?
Well, when it comes to the building, there's been plans for the last 14 years. I mean, there's already been building projects, and like we got whole organization, whole little cities in Ghana, all over Africa. Like that's, I done been out there, I done seen it. We have a lot of stuff. When it comes to a set like New Tamaray type setting, my father's really working on going kind of beyond that. Going kind of beyond just a place where we all can see. Tamaray was more so a capital, a city hall for all black community, kind of like what Sinetta's doing. A capital in which every leader, like he used to have a big picture on the wall where you had him in the middle, you had Haile Selassie, you had every single black leader, and he made it there where all leaders, all teachers, all everybody could come to Tamaray. Now we passed that point. Now we're on the point of the capital has been erected. The nationality, being a Nuwaubian is a nationality, it's been erected. I have a Nuwaubian passport I can travel outside the country with. And now with that, now we're going to country building, literally. So we're in the United Nations taking care of that right now when it comes to getting 20 million acres and actually establishing land. And that's why when he was asking me how do you feel about what people are saying about your father, I say it's a mental disease. Because when you look at that amount of dedication from prison, any teacher that is teaching class on the prison phone, still giving us the build, you know what I'm saying? Just for the brothers to come out here and we get on the street, we propagate and regurgitate it. Books are still flowing out. Like I literally just came from the bookstore about 2-3 hours ago. We was just in Brooklyn and just bought 4 new books that just came on the shelf. Brand new, fresh, this thick. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? With Dr. York, it's black and white. You either with me or against me. But if you against me, it's gonna be a cold fucking winter. Because the Nuwaubian nation we're too far established. We've been moving since the 50s. So we done made it through the civil rights era into the 2016. We're in the hereafter. The sun cycle is in full effect. We're in the hereafter, and we're only getting bigger.
Remember your father from 1970, bro.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Come
Most
out of the
respect, man.
communities, bro. And I followed that ever since that day.
I would just add on, and everything that you said was definitely powerful. I would just add on to the fact that because we live in the wilderness of North America, because we find ourselves in this situation where a lot of people's neighborhoods and their communities are depleted, they're degenerating and things of that nature, and then we live under this reality where as soon as European people show up to our people who are dumb, deaf, and blind, they start waving the flag like this, like it's something to celebrate because there's a bagel shop that opens up. All I'm saying is there any plans? And I'm only asking you this because when I look at organizations and groups, I see the nation as builders and I see the Nuwaubians as some of the most recent ones who actually put their hands in the dirt and built something up. So all I'm saying is, and I've been to Atlanta, it's a lot of Nuwaubians all around Atlanta. Where is there a community though? Because there was a power in what took place at Eatonton in Tamaray. There was a power of that actual community because I belong to the conscious community, but we don't have I'm going back to the hood. There's no community. So all I'm saying is like one of the places like in Atlanta where there's a lot of students of the Nuwaubian faith, is there plans to actually erect physical communities in the now, not when the UN decides that they want to things of that nature? Is there a plan to start building some stuff right now, like institutions and stuff?
Well, not here. It will never be here. It's no point of building here.
No doubt.
And that's the #1 debate with Nuwaubians towards Moors. There will never be plans here. We don't want to be here. This is not where we're from. We don't want to be here. And that's why my father always say, give him his stuff back. No disrespect to you, but I have to address this. There's no such thing as a Nuwaubian faith. That doesn't exist. Nuwaubians practice Wu Nuwap, which is a sacred spiritual science where nature meets spirituality. Science and spirituality come to a center point called natural nature, and we go by the natural nature of how things work in the universe. Everything has to go by nature. For example, vegans, by natural nature, this is a vegan argument. Vegans say we don't drink cow milk because cow milk is for cows. By natural nature, human milk is for humans. Nuwaubians go by natural nature. Not meaning we drink human milk, but I'm just saying, that's just an example. We go by exact natural nature. So it's no faith, there's no religion to it, it's natural nature. You know what I'm saying?
So is the object to go to Africa? Is that the place to go? Because there are a lot of us here in the Americas, Central, South. You know, we don't sit down and say that that's for them.
Our
argument is the European is the alien. Our argument is the European is the usurper of the land. Our argument is send his motherfucking ass home and we keep this because we can prove that we've been here before they got here. Okay. So to go to Africa where all of us are not going, you dig what I'm saying? We can't convince everyone to go. I would say that what about taking our land back? Because Malachi Z. York was teaching the brothers and sisters about their origins, their aboriginal, indigenous, rights, or their inalienable rights to this land. So, I mean, I'm confused. I thought that it was, let's take some of this land back. You know what I mean?
Well, the only way, when you're dealing with liberating and freeing the people, the only way you can truly free yourself is by letting all ties go. We can sit here and we can argue, which we have been doing since Noble Drew Ali, which is over 100 years. We can argue all day long about this is our land, it's our land, it's our land. But the truth of the matter is, and a lot of people are not going to like this, the truth of the matter is, we are conquered people. Same thing with the Jews. The Jews are a conquered people. But they were able to say, let me let Germany go. Let me let Belgium go. Areas that in the early 1930s, 1920s, the Jews controlled. And they said, let me let it go, and now they have their own nation, Israel. You know what I'm saying? They own it. It's theirs. They do. They have full power.
They usurp that land like the European has usurped this land as a conqueror. Yeah. They never had that. That's not their land, and they were never in charge of it.
Well, when you're dealing with conquering, you know what I'm saying, even when you go into the United Nations, you start studying international law, as an indigenous people, you have rights. As an indigenous people, as Native Americans, and this is what my father was teaching, as Native Americans, you have rights in claiming land, etc. But, when you're doing that, the first thing you must do is you have to have a nationality. It has to be established. And you can't, more is not necessarily a nationality. It's not. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? More goes back into the Latin word, morenos. We know the build, but at the end of the day, it's not respected. It's no respect there. Nuwapian has gotten the respect that is necessary because the works that my father did, who he is internationally already, you know what I'm saying? We have royal bloodline in Sudan. We have the connections to get us to where we needed to be. When it comes to this land here, our focal point for the United States of America is we're building. We're all about building community. I mean, we're the people, we're the originators of building communities. Us in the Nation of Islam, we build communities, you know what I'm saying? But our real focal point is getting back to where we're at, you know what I'm saying? Because if you have your Native American legacy here, you have your African descendancy, and then you have your black Europeans, which they call Moors. But the black, that's migration, but that's neither here nor there. We can fight for this, but this ain't shit, because they fighting for that. While we're over here fighting for America, fighting for these concrete walls, they're conquering our brothers and sisters in Africa easily, wiping through Ghana, wiping through, you know what I'm saying? We're watching it, and we're seeing this shit every single day. So we're fighting for this, and we're screaming with our fists in the air for this, and they're going to give it to us in about 50, 60, 70 years. And they're going to be over there where we need to be, where the power is, where the gold is, where the oil is. Ain't nothing here. This land has no value to them. America is a business. This is a building. The whole United States of America is a giant building. And you have different floors. The slaves on one level, and you got paid slaves, and you got illegally slaves. And then you got the top-notch dogs. And everybody that's on the top-notch, the Wall Street brokers, the governors, these different people, their focal point is on Africa.
That's an excellent point that you made. Due to my research, the European, is not only interested in Africa, but the European is in South America. The European is in Central America. The European is trying to get into Asia, whoever may let him in. The European is in Africa. The European is also in the Americas. And I would correct that fact about nothing is in the Americas, because I was just in Texas. Texas is oil rich. Yeah. There's millionaires in Texas. They're pulling oil out of Texas. They're pulling oil out of Louisiana. They're pulling oil and gold and silver out of the Caribbeans. They're pulling gold, oil, silver, gemstones out of Central, South, and North America. So this is, like you said, this is, I would see this as the supermarket. And outside is where you get the resources, the third world and things of that nature, and the cheap labor and all kind of other stuff. You dig what I'm saying? This is where the consumer base is. So yeah, they're looking at Africa, but they've conquered Africa. We're talking about post-colonial. The Europeans, when they implemented what is known as colonial rule, and when they went in there and created the countries that we speak of, like the Rwandas, and these names were given to them by the Europeans. So when the Europeans left, China's coming in, the Indians are coming in, the European businesses are coming in as well. But like I said, to convince 44 million inhabitants that are here, that are, remember, these are contracted people, meaning that these corporations that you talk about, they own these people. No, of course. They own these people, right? They own them through contract, they own them through birth certificates, they own them through the social, all of these. So they're not just gonna sit back and just say, oh, you guys could just leave this corporation, you know what I mean? Because this is where they get their money off of.
I'm not saying leave the corporation, not at all. Because at the end of the day, the world is a business. I'm saying, it's like we as a conscious community, as a black community, what we're doing right now is we have a bunch of balls and we're throwing it at the wall trying to see which one's gonna stick. And that's what it is, because we're dibbling, we're everywhere. We're from everywhere. It's more than just Africa. We know this. Africa is a central point, but we can go predate that. We can go into Pangea, we can go into Gowana, we can go into many different land masses, and where pre-dynastic Egyptians like the Ptahaites, the Edomites, all these different people lived and survived and had full cultures predating the Caucasian race totally by millions of years. We can do that, but today, 2016,
that's what I'm talking about.
What is valuable right now? First, you got to set, before you attack each and every area, you got to set your roots somewhere. You got to attack as a nationality. Like you said, I'm a part of the conscious community. That's not a nationality. So you have to move as, okay, like me.
That's a network.
It's a network, but it has to be a nationality. Because
I belong to a nationality.
Me personally, I have a lot. We as Nuwapians as a whole, we have tons of respect for the conscious community. Plenty. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all out here and y'all are doing it. But that also has to be known is that to be able to be respected on a global scale is to be respected as a nationality. Because they're going to say, okay, but what are you? And you're going to say, I'm either African American, what are you?
I'm not saying that. I'm a Moor.
You're a Moor.
I'm a Moor.
Okay. So you're going to say that you're a Moor. At the end of the day, and the Moors not going to like this, and I love y'all brothers, but it is what it is, that's not respected. It's not known. It's not educated. What is
That's, hold on. From your standpoint,
well, that's
from where you at,
well, I'm talking, hold on.
You're making a statement about what's not respected and what is not as known. What I'm saying is that's a personal standpoint from where you stand.
My bad. Where I'm standing from is as being a Nuwapian who has been to United Nations General Assembly, who's been there.
I've been there as well.
Who sat in on the meetings.
I've been there.
Who has left the country, has went to Switzerland, who has my Nuwapian passport, who has Nuwapian IDs, who have this stuff, who's met prime ministers of China, I've done this. We've done this as a nation,
okay.
and we've done it where the word Nuwapian has become a literal nationality, more than just the build and the teaching of it, but to the aspect where you could truly say, this is what I am, this is my culture. And that's really what my father was all about, giving the black race a culture, giving us a central point in where, okay, I know we came from Africa. I know where tribe you came from. I know we're Native American. But what was the very, 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 very beginning? So that is our culture, because it will have a piece of all these different things. And that's what Nuwapu does. That's what Nuwapians are. We are the original Ptahaites. That's what the Nuwapian practice, a lot of people think is Egyptian. Well, Ptahaites are Egyptians to a certain extent, but we go before. And we go into the culture of the Ptahaites, which go back to 450 million years ago. The language we speak, Nuwapic, Nuwapuyi, goes back millions of years ago, and we can prove it without a shadow of a doubt. We've always had. That's why our books are called actual facts, because we're showing you how it's an actual fact.
Okay.
That's neither here or there. But what our people must do is, I'm not telling everybody in the world to be Nuwapian. I'm telling everybody in the world to get you a real nationality. More is a nationality, yes it is. But I'm talking about what is established as us as a people. See, you can be, when you have a nationality, you can be a Nuwapian American. You can be a Nuwapian Mexican. You can be a Nuwapian Dominican. More is just, you're just a Moor. And not
Moorish American.
It's a Moorish, I mean, yeah, he's a Moorish American, but Moors go back to where?
It's different. You could go back to, you could identify with the Washitas, like your father did.
I know.
So you could, hold on.
No. I gotta talk about
you
that.
You can identify with bloodlines out of West Africa. You can identify with bloodlines out of many different bloodlines that come out of Europe. You could identify with bloodlines out of North Africa. So you would be identifying from both your tribe and your bloodline.
True. But do we want to keep identifying, or do we want to get something done? That's what I'm saying. We can.
You said
most definitely.
I'm saying identifying from the aspect of identity.
Yeah.
Our people are suffering from identity crisis.
Yeah.
Our people don't know who they are based on a European telling them with a paintbrush. And your father helped me with my identity crisis when I was younger reading the scrolls, because he allowed me to go into all of these different chambers of where I could find myself. You dig what I'm saying? So I did benefit off of the teachings that the brother brought forth, and that helped with identifying who I am. So I'm saying that as identity. I'm just talking about the identity of our people.
And that's well respected, especially when it goes to, like you said, that's what my father taught. The Wichita, the Seminole, the Yamasee, all the Native American tribes. But that is what Nuwapi, that is what the nationality is. Nuwapian is every single Native American tribe. Because everybody in the world knows who we are. Everybody in the world knows who, and I'm not talking about Nuwapians, I'm talking about everybody in the world knows who black people are. Yeah. They know who we are, what we've been through. They know about Native Americans. Why? Because they all had a foot in it. They all just pulled out before America did. So they know who when we go up there and we're out the country and we're building with these different leaders, they already know what it is. They're really looking at us like it's about time, because every other people that's been in the world that's been oppressed has risen except for us.
Yeah, and they're waiting for us. That's what they say. They're waiting for us.
And that's why we did it. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people don't know what we're talking about that needs to be done has already been done. It's already been achieved. That's what I'm saying. I was there. I've seen it. I got the pictures. You know what I'm saying? You can follow me on Instagram. I take pictures all the time. I'm like, yo, this is where we at. We already here. What we're asking for is already there. What we need is, we don't want your money. We're not really interested in building, because when my father built the Brooklyn community, this is millions of dollars. We built Tamaray, I think that was like $46 million just on Tamaray. We ain't got time to be investing in his land no more, because what we did is, when we went to Tamaray, that land was hilly, it was all types of problems with the land that we had to develop, they came in, they moved us off, and then now they redeveloped the land and use it for what they want to use it for after our hard work labor. We didn't come in and call in no white contractors to build them pyramids. We went out there, and my father literally told the brothers, he said, we don't know how to build no pyramids. He said, go out there and figure it out. It's in your lineage. It's in your bloodline. And y'all saw them pyramids stood. Yep. And they were built in the ground as diamond as well. You know what I'm saying? In the whole nine. So what we have to do is, we got to get it past the what's neither here or there. A lot of this stuff that we're talking about is already done and established. And it's a lot.
What countries in Africa are you looking for?
What we're looking for is our own country in Africa. So it's not really a country we're looking for. It's more so about building with these different leaders, because they have the power to be able to liberate you in the way you truly need to be. In the aspect of saying, okay, well, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and say, because they do it for their small tribes. That's why we move as a tribe. They'll say, okay, this tribe right here, we'll give them 30 acres tribal land. Well, Nuwapian Nation is very big. The Nuwapian Nation, we're already over 1 million in population. So we're looking for millions of acres that we could develop, you know what I'm saying, that we can make our own. And it's not even just for us. Nuwapians, we go for everybody. We have no gripe. We have no anger. You know, a lot of people get mad, you know, because my father wrote a lot of 360 books. I know you know, a lot of debate books. But people, they misinterpret what them books are for. Them books are not to attack you. Them books are to make you think. And if you disagree what's in it, that's cool. But what you can't disagree with is that my bloodline is your bloodline. We all connected. So let's get past that. Put your flag down, because there's already one up. You know what I'm saying? If you want to hold it, get you a little one. But at the end of the day, this is what's up. This is what's waving. This is what's known. Let's move on that. And then once we get to our land, if you're a Hebrew Israelite, once we get to our promised land and we get to where we're trying to go, then we can talk about who's right and who's wrong. Because I'd rather argue about who's right and who's wrong in my house than in his. Period. See what I'm saying? And that's what it's about, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying?
For the family that's interested in doing further research and checking up on what it is that you said about, you know, the access to land, the access to resources and things of that nature, how could they contact you, and how could they, you know, because we haven't heard this on 125th Street from Nuwabians. They walked by, we were not privy to this information. So what I want to know is, how does the family get more information about what it is that you're saying? Because I know a lot of people that's ready to move right now. You dig what I'm saying? So what can they do?
Well, you know, I'm not really one to do a lot of self-promotion, so it's not really what you can do with me, you know what I'm saying? But as the Nuwaubian nation as a whole, man, it starts with your intellect. It starts with studying, it starts with reading, it starts with learning, it starts with doing these different things, you know what I'm saying? Because my father, like I said earlier, my father wrote 1,257 books and still writing. Study. Everything that he's talking about, everything that I'm saying right now is not nothing new. You know what I'm saying? The brothers on the street is not going around pushing it because you have to want it. I can't just give it to you. You gotta want to do, or I'm just talking for nothing. See what I'm saying? I could just be running my mouth, running out of oxygen, talking for absolutely nothing because everything I'm saying, you're not gonna wanna go truly research. Because it's not about going on the web and always going to the white man's Google. Sometimes you gotta actually open a book. Because and that's where the secrets are most of the time held. It's not always on the white man's Google, because the same white man's Google we talking about, the same Google that slanders my father, slanders myself, slanders his brothers on there, slandering you, slandering Polite, slandering us all. You know what I'm saying? Even the regular basic people, they're getting talked about all day. This is the same internet. It's the same internet that we're finding our truth on, the same internet we're finding our lies on.
No, of course.
So we have to start going directly to the source. Me, myself, you, yourself, we're just the source to the source.
No doubt.
There's it's one point, one source that we have to go through to get this information. And from my point of view, I'm going to say it's in Wu Nuwaup. The reason why is because we cover every area. We left nothing without we leave no gaps. Everything gets talked about. Everything that you building on, everything that we're debating on, it all got Egyptology, Sumerian, ontology, every culture, every language. I mean, when I was growing up, I was born, you know what I'm saying? We born speaking 4 or 5 languages. First language Arabic, then Hebrew, then Nubic, then Nuwaubic. You know, we went through it. It was just what it was. You know what I'm saying? So that level of intellect can be there for you too. And then sometimes we got to learn most of the intellect, and then once we get the intellect, then we have to go to the higher level, which is the outellect. And we got to get to the higher, you know what I'm saying, that higher cipher. That higher, that 999. Drop the 666. The 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. That's physical. Let's get to the 999. You know what I'm saying? The higher level, our inner Natharu, not Natiru. Because Natiru is Greek. Natharu. That's the proper way of saying it. It's Natharu. Get to your Nathar. That's your ancestors, your overseers, the people who walk with you every day, that have your back. And that's what you got to do before you get there. Because you got to study. You have to have a certain level of intellect to be able to get there. Or you're just going to be another nigga buying an American passport to fly over to Africa instead of having your own to get there. And that's what it is.
Indeed, no doubt. Any questions from the family in the audience? Any questions? Indeed. Thank you, good brother. All right, been a pleasure. No doubt. We appreciate you.
Most definitely,
Indeed.
most definitely.
Salute. Leave your you left your contacts?
Oh, yeah. I mean, y'all can follow me on Instagram at The Prince York. It's that simple. The Prince York. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram. Keep up with me. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a lot of pictures of us at the UN doing different stuff like that. I always fill the family in. You know what I'm saying? I make a lot of posts myself, dropping builds on different stuff like the origin of the RBG flag, the different stuff like that. We go into basic stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, really, go to www.wunuwaup.com. You know what I'm saying? Pick up your next Malachi York book, and you know what I'm saying, and go into it and actually read it, analyze it. Don't be so quick to slander. Know why you're slandering. If you're going to slander, know why. Say, I'm slandering this brother because he dedicated 54 years of his life to helping my people. And then you know you a coon. Prince York, Wadu.